We're live. Ready? Hey,
Hey,
hey, hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey, hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey, hey,
hey, hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey,
hey.
hey.
We gotta start meneando la cintura and
Yeah,
shit. Doing
I'm
a
gonna shake my
perrito.
whole, I'm gonna shake my whole desk.
Yeah, right. El baile de perrito. Remember that one?
Yeah, that's a
Domin-
classic.
yeah, right. Dominican music will never be the same. What are some other classics that you can think of off the top of your head, man?
Oh man, classic Dominican like merengues or just any classic?
Just like those silly dances. El baile del bipe. Beep, beep, beep.
Dude, I don't know because I was an infant. I was like a child running around in those
Uh,
parties, in those Fundeco parties.
yeah, man. I'm not that much older than you are, but sometimes you
I'm
make me
not saying
feel
you were. That wasn't
old.
anything. I wasn't saying you're old, man. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
sure.
it's hard for me to on the spot pick a
So
song
what's
like
up,
that.
everybody? Welcome to La Bodega. There's my boy over there, my cousin, my compadre, my socio, mi pana, Luis. What's good?
Not much, man. Baseball's back in full swing after the All-Star break. I'm kind of happy we didn't have a complete shutdown of the sport
Yeah.
due to some positive COVID cases after the All-Star break. Dodge the
Hmm.
bullet there, if I do say so myself. Manny, how are you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm doing excellent. Last week I had the opportunity to co-host with Russ Ortiz the Digging Deep podcast for Our Esquina. It was kind of a spur of the moment type thing. And we interviewed two Pulitzer Prize winners, Julio Cortez and Marcio Sanchez. So for those of you watching on the live stream, go check that out on the Digging Deep podcast, and it's also on our YouTube channel on Our Esquina. Also check out Bodega Baseball's YouTube channel. We have some awesome content up on there too. But that was my week last week, and perfect transition, Luis. Let's jump right into hot or not. The pandemic is raging. We have the Delta variant. We're getting some positive tests all over the place, and some Olympic teams are dealing with COVID. We have some MLB players dealing with COVID. Some movie sets are dealing with COVID. I think they had to pause the filming of a show or a movie because of COVID. And the New York Yankees are dealing with COVID. You like that? You like that transition there? So the Yankees are my first in our hot or not segment. They're my first not, even though they took 2 out of 3 from the Boston Red Sox this weekend.
Yep.
I put them in my not category because they're dealing with their second COVID outbreak of the year. And it has infiltrated some of their top flight players. Aaron Judge, Jonathan Lysiga, who, by the way, I just uploaded a video up on Bodega Baseball based on an interview I did with him at Yankee Stadium. So go check that out. Giovanni Urshela, our ace, Nestor Cortez. Just kidding. He's not our ace, but he's been doing really good, among others. And now you have guys like Luke Voigt on the IL, Tim LeCastro on the IL. I think Lamar just landed on the IL as well. And then you have guys like Alex Verdugo, who gets hit in the back by a baseball, which is thrown by a fan. So the Yankees, after blowing one of the worst saves ever pre-All-Star break, they are now dealing with a COVID outbreak, another IL situation, and obnoxious fans throwing balls on the field. So in my book, the Yankees are not hot.
Philly status, man. And about that fan that threw the ball, Manny, what do you think about him being banned lifetime ban from all 30 MLB ball clubs?
I think that it's so I'm going to just give you my answer and then Tarantino go backwards and tell you why. I think it's kind of silly. I don't know how you could possibly ban somebody for life from all 30 ballparks. And I also, based on what I've been seeing, it looks like I think it's Brandon Cuddy. I think he writes for the Daily News. I can't remember. Maybe MLB.com. I don't know. I think one of the fans sitting near the kid called him and told him that it was an accident. He didn't mean to throw it, and he didn't mean to hit Alex Verdugo when he threw the ball back. And then some videos popped up on social media showing the kid who threw it. He looked like
scared,
right?
Like frightened. Yeah, that's why.
Like, yeah. So man. I kind of like I could see how a mistake like that gets made, but then at the same time, like, baseball field is huge, man. How of the entire field, how did you hit Alex Verdugo, man? Like, come on.
I didn't see what the guy looked like. I just saw the angle, that video that they pan from like the people on the field, and they show the fan, and he looks kind of frightened. He's the only one like sitting down, not really like making any movements, and it just looked like a guy that made a mistake. I think even Alex Verdugo, like the way that Alex Verdugo communicates to fans and the way that he is like on and off the field, I think even he would say that a lifetime ban from all 30 ball clubs is probably a little excessive. And the guy looks like, I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, this guy definitely got hammered and got enticed to throw it. And Alex Verdugo was right there, and it just all happened so fast. But I think maybe like a ban for the rest of the year would be good. Maybe like an apology, maybe plaster the guy's face everywhere and embarrass him a little bit. But a lifetime ban in all 30 ball clubs, I don't know, Manny.
I think it was because Verdugo threw the ball into the stands for a fan, and another fan wound up getting the ball, and he was enticed by other Yankees fans to throw it back, and then he threw it back. Probably not a good thrower, and it just so happened to hit Verdugo. We've had those moments where, like, there's times where I have a pencil and there's a cup across the room, and I'm trying to throw the pencil in the cup, and there's no chance that it's gonna happen. Sometimes it hits, sometimes I make it, and I think it was just one of those things where I don't think he was trying to hit Verdugo, but it was like manifest destiny. It happened. It was like when Giancarlo Stanton got hit by the guy who threw a ball in Fenway from the Green Monster. I don't think that guy was trying to hit Stanton. I think it was just like a chance thing. You know what I mean?
And there's no way he intentionally. That was a deep throw. If anything, I know Stanton tipped off he did like one of those. Whatever. But even if like I could see it being an accident. I mean, it's not like the fan had any rosin or sunscreen or anything to grip those baseballs, right? So,
well done, man.
Let's move on, Manny. How about that?
Let's move on.
All right. I got a hot.
Let's go.
Your very own fantasy baseball player, Juan Soto, 5 home runs in 4 days.
Yes.
I don't know what kind of team the Nats are, because one day I see them getting blown out, and then the other day they're doing the blowing out. And yesterday they blew out the Marlins. And they might be buyers at the trade deadline. We don't know yet. I don't really know what the Marlins are trying to do, but I think that division is up for grabs. Juan Soto's hot.
Oh my God, man. Juan Soto. And I was trying to trade him too before the All-Star break, but I was getting these crappy offers. And
you were asking, you might have been asking for too much, if I'm being honest.
It's Juan Soto. Do you see what this guy's doing?
If I'm looking at if I'm looking at the league from the outside, unbiased, impartial, looking at everything, then I would say you're probably asking for too much.
Okay. All I'm saying is had one of our opponents who owns Jacob deGrom had made the Juan Soto for deGrom trade, I would have lost that trade. Let's put it that way. So take your overpriced and shove it. Okay. You know who else is hot? Let's stay in Washington, D.C. The Washington National staff and police, after a shooting was heard outside of third base in game on Sunday versus the Padres, they kept fans and everyone safe inside of the stadium. And also shout out to Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado. A lot of stories were coming out about them rushing out to, I think they were trying to allow the family of a teammate or something who had a baby into the dugout, but they ended up like welcoming a bunch of fans into the dugout to stay safe from the shooting because nobody knew where it was coming from. So shout out to everybody around Nats Park who did their best to keep everyone safe during that shooting.
Nice.
You guys are hot.
Man, I'm going to stay on that hot wave, and I'm actually going to revert back to when I said Juan Soto, 5 home runs in 4 days. Tim Anderson, White Sox franchise record, 16-game hitting streak. I think it's also
That's their record?
You know what? I might be mixing that up with the run streak. He has a 12-game run streak, which is the franchise record, I believe. But yeah, I think 16-game hit streak is the White Sox franchise record. And I think he also has like 3 home runs in 3 days as well. So Tim Anderson, I think you're one of the most underrated baseball players in baseball. One of the most underrated baseball players in baseball, in MLB. And I just think you're great, man. You're hot.
I love Tim Anderson, man.
Same.
Love that guy. All right. Let's switch it off to who's not hot really quick. And I'm gonna go right ahead and say that John Nogowski, Pittsburgh Pirates. You probably don't know who I'm talking about.
I know.
And he's not hot, man. So he threw a temper tantrum against Marcus Stroman last week after he was retired. He lined out. Marcus Stroman got into a tough, situation there. He hasn't been pitching that great. He retires Nogowski and pumps his fist because he's excited. He got out of trouble. Nogowski decides to start chirping at Marcus Stroman, and then Stroman goes back at him. And I don't know what happened, but in the scuffle, you can see Stroman like kind of catch his breath. He looks like he was going to throw up. I think he was that pumped up, which is kind of weird. But a Dominican reporter shared a video that Nogowski did the same thing in La Liga Dominicana last year. I think it was against Los Toros del Este. I can't remember who it was. And this guy just has, I don't know, man. I'm wondering if maybe he's taking some substance that gives you rage, if you know what I'm talking about. Either way, Nogowski, you're not hot, Ski.
I'm going to stick with the not hot.
Okay.
And I got to say that if this was any other sport, the trade deadline would be the topic of the hour, every hour, especially in football. And I think so far, MLB trade deadline has just been a total snooze fest. All I could recall is that Jock Pederson was traded to the Braves. That's it. I look up one moment, Adam Eaton is on the Nationals all of a sudden or something. Like it's a bunch of role players. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying if there was a football trade deadline or a basketball trade deadline, there would be a lot more coverage. There'd be a lot more moving parts. I don't really know what these teams are waiting for. I think there's like a week left, maybe, till the deadline.
The 30th.
The 30th, right? So about 10 days off. So still a lot can get done. I'm just saying, as of right now, we're recording this on Tuesday. And by the time you guys listen to this, maybe the Nolan Arenado type of trade will happen between now and then. But as of right now, I think the trade deadline is just, it's not hot, man.
I wonder how much the second wild card has to do with that.
You mean last year?
In general, just because more teams are in contention. Like, look at the NL East. The Mets had such a big lead, but it's dwindled down, and then there's a second wild card that anybody could play for. So every team in that division feels like, except for the Marlins, maybe feels like they have a chance to make the postseason.
I thought you were referring to how last year there was that wild card series of elimination.
Yeah.
This year it's just back to the one game elimination.
I mean, because there's two wild cards now. When did that start? 2015, I think it was. I feel like in since then, I feel like I haven't heard of big blockbuster trades as much. So, I mean, you have the Justin Verlander trade to the Houston Astros, Zach Greinke before the deadline, Luke Voigt, guys like that. But I feel like there was a time where you would hear about these blockbuster trades like almost every year. Now you don't really hear about it so much anymore.
We're still waiting.
And there are some. I mean, Jock Pederson went to the Chicago Cubs. That I don't know if that's a blockbuster. There's some talk going around about Joey Gallo, which we'll get into later, and guys like Starling Marte and Kris Bryant and Craig Kimbrell and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Big names. Big names out there. Just want to correct you real quick. Jock Pederson went to the Braves.
My bad, man. You don't
it's all good.
You don't have to throw me under the bus, man.
You
know who's hot? You know who's hot?
Who?
Can you do me a quick favor and just remove yourself from the screen really quick? God, look at that, man.
Look at that chest.
Every week, this guy is hot. Every week.
Look at the aura. Look at the aura around this guy when I speak. That's what that's real life, man. Except it's gold. It's not gray.
Exactly. Is there anything Ohtani does wrong? Anything?
Not yet.
I mean, I think that if this guy gets popped for something illegal, it might break my heart more than Alex Rodriguez did.
Oh man, that's a tough one for me because I'm a A-Rod fan till I die, but it's gonna be up there for sure.
With Sammy Sosa, you know what I mean?
I think when we look back at Sammy Sosa, we can all agree that we were just being, young and gullible and stuff.
Silly. Yeah.
It hurt. Manny Ramirez hurt more for me than Sammy.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. Yeah.
I'll tell you why Shohei Ohtani's hot. So not only does the guy pitch, not only does he hit, Not only did he participate in the All-Star game as a DH and a pitcher, and in the Home Run Derby, he donated the proceeds of the Home Run Derby, the money that he got from the Home Run Derby, $150,000, to Angel support staff. So each person got $5,000. And according to David Fletcher, he had decided to do this before the event even started. So had he won the event, that would have been $1 million split between 30 Angel support staff. Had he been runner-up, that would have been $500,000 between Angel support staff. I don't know, man. It's this guy and Fernando Tatis. For me, Shohei Ohtani right now is just like he does no wrong. But Tatis is close. But Shohei Ohtani, man, beautiful man. What a beautiful man.
Man, and I'm just going to follow that Ohtani hot trend. And I have a video. I don't know if you want to show it, but sure. I don't. It looks kind of blurry on my screen. I'll try to. I'll just play it real quick.
All right, here we go.
So does it look blurry?
A little bit, but we'll clear up.
Damn, I don't know. It's not looking good.
We're staying there, man. Let's just look at it. Even a pixelated Ohtani is a beautiful thing, man.
I mean, honestly, he's moving so fast that... Anyways, guys, the point is Shohei Ohtani beat out a grounder to first, man. He hit a grounder to the first baseman. First baseman fielded it. He fielded it cleanly. He fielded it cleanly, took it himself. It was going to be unassisted. He probably thought business as usual. I'm just going to trot myself to first base. But no, Ohtani beat him to the punch. And you know what else makes Ohtani hot, Manny?
What?
Fanatics becomes the exclusive distributor for all Shohei Ohtani memorabilia. So he's been the top selling athlete since July 1st. And according to this tweet that I'm reading, he's outsold the second ranked player 10 times over since July 1st.
Jesus.
That's unreal, man. Like we're looking at the modern day Babe Ruth mixed in with a little bit of Ken Griffey Jr., mixed in with a little who's the most humble baseball player you could think of. I don't know. To me, it's Shohei Ohtani today.
Right now, yeah, I think it is Ohtani.
Crazy, man. And I just can't get enough of the guy, man.
Doesn't hurt that he's, nice to look at too. Not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna give you my last my last not hot. I feel like I'm very negative today. The New York Mets, man. I feel like if you've been following our podcast for a long time, for those of you who've joined us from Welcome to the Show, thank you. You've made the effort because we did not inform you that we have changed our name to the Bodega Baseball Podcast. But we always drag the Mets through the mud for some reason. And I'm trying to be better. Believe me, guys, I'm trying. But no more DeGrom. Lindor with an oblique injury. God only knows when he's going to come back. You have the Taijuan Walker play this past weekend where he throws the ball away and it's still live. 3-run score, Pittsburgh Pirates. Although they came back and won that game. They almost got swept by the Pirates. I think they won 2 out of 7 from the Pirates. They played 2 consecutive series against the Pirates. One before the All-Star break, one after, and they only won 2 out of 7 games.
Yep.
They're not hot right now, man. And I think there's a rumor that Max Scherzer could go to the Houston Astros. But I think the New York Mets are probably going to prevent that because they're going to keep the Astros in contention because they are not hot.
All right. Let's see. I got one hot and then one I don't know if this is hot and I don't know if it's not. I'll try to get through it quickly. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. becomes the fastest Blue Jays to 30 home runs. Took him 90 games to get there. And at the age of 22 or younger, only Joe DiMaggio has more home runs in 90 games for a ball club. So that's how saturated the MLB talent pool is, man. We talked about Ohtani, we talked about Fernando Tatis, man, but then we still have another monster in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And actually, man, I have one more hot before I get to the hot or not, but Alex Reyes has converted 24 out of 24 save opportunities to start his career. That is the new MLB record. I think he has 22 this season alone consecutively. I noticed he's on your team as well, so my apologies if the complete opposite happens from here on out.
If I haven't cursed the guy yet, he's probably good to go. Alex
So you
Reyes.
think-
By the way, he it doesn't look pretty either. Like they're not easy saves. He's working for these saves, but he's doing it. So
He also walks a lot of batters too. I'm
he
noticing.
he's been walking a lot of batters this year. Yeah. So good for him.
So
man. You know
Al
what?
Reyes, if you somehow get, go ahead,
I do have one more hot. I'm sorry, man.
go for it, man.
Lance Lynn, man. Lance Lynn gets an extension from the Chicago White Sox, 2 years, $38 million. Tremendous bargain, man. I mean, isn't that what you want from an A starting pitcher? The guy's pitching to a sub-2 ERA, and he's taking $19 million a year, which to you and me is a ton of money. But to these guys, I mean, who would you compare Lance Lynn to? I think you made a good comparison of someone else who's pretty underpaid, Zach Wheeler, and Zach Wheeler makes way more money than
I think Zach Wheeler's like at 25 mil a year or 24, something like that. It's in the 20s, but Zach Wheeler is beast. But even Zach Wheeler is a bargain compared to even look at Max Scherzer, look at Chris Sale, look at all these guys.
How much is Chapman? Doesn't Chapman make like 17 million or something like that?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So we don't fact check here, but let's say that Chapman makes $17 million. Lance Lynn is making $2 million more than a closer. Like,
yeah. And the game he pitched yesterday, I think he only made one mistake. It was to Nelson Cruz. It was a doubleheader game, and I think he went 6 shutout innings.
Yeah.
Until Nelson Cruz hit it out of the park. So,
beast.
No, Lancelin is a beast. Another Yankee. Yeah. This is my last one, and then we can wrap up this segment.
Okay.
I don't know if this is hot or not. Rob Manfred has said that 7-inning doubleheaders will not be part of the future moving forward. According to him, he's thinking about banning the shift and thinking about eliminating the extra innings rule. So I don't know if this is hot or not, because on the one hand, I didn't like the 7-inning doubleheader move in the beginning. But I really don't. But, after seeing it, I'm okay with it. If every week there was a 7-inning doubleheader, I would be okay with it. What I'm not okay with is MLB ball clubs charging basically the same admission fee that you would charge for a 9-inning game for both games. That's not cool. I didn't like the extra innings rule, but I have to admit it served its purpose. It's made games shorter, more exciting. I'm not upset that it's going away or that it could be going away, but I have to admit, it did serve a purpose while it was implemented, at least. And I still don't know how I feel about banning the shift. I feel like we talk about this every other month. This comes up, and I still don't know if banning the shift is the way to go. It's definitely going to improve offense. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's why I can't decide if this is a hot or this is a not.
So I don't know about you, but I'm still I still struggle with the 7-inning doubleheaders. I forget that there's 7 innings. Sometimes I'm like, what the game's over? What just happened here? But in all honesty, I don't mind them. What I don't get is, why is he taking the stance now all of a sudden?
And what was the point of all this?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know,
man. And who's really calling the shots? Because the way that this is all playing out, if he's really going to go back on all these things, then him doing it in the first place, he must have felt pressure from somebody, and that's what they came up with. And now those same people were probably like, "Hey, idiot! Stop this already! You're ruining the game. Turn it back."
Right.
So I don't know, man.
My computer's lagging, man. But there was a picture of Rob Manfred with Travis Scott, which I thought was really funny. Because why is Rob Manfred with Travis Scott? My computer's lagging, though, so let me see if I can get it for you guys real quick. Never mind. What's the point? He looks creepy, though. Let's just put it that way. Open image in a new tab. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, here we go. Little Rob Manfred, Travis Scott action there. Where are they? Right? Where are they?
They're puffing hookah or something somewhere in a club. Rob Manfred looks like he's having a good time, so he's either under the influence of some sort of narcotics.
Yeah. Bro.
Alcohol.
Dude. A little hashish.
Did Rob Manfred know who he was taking a picture with? Or did Travis Scott know who he was taking a picture with?
Right? I know, right?
Because
that's true.
But again, Travis Scott participated in that celebrity softball game 2 years back, or last year, I think. So maybe Travis Scott is low-key a I know I think he's an Astros fan, right?
Quién sabe.
Oh man, we got a fact check on this podcast.
All right, so that's our hot or not. Let's move on to our rumors and rumblings, a little segment we like to call DK. I don't know why I have to shout that every time. But some trade rumors real quick. I don't know how we're gonna format this. Should we talk about the trade rumors and then focus on one or two, or
yeah?
How are you feeling, man? How are you feeling about this whole thing?
I think we should briefly mention what's out there that's of any significance, and then dive into analysis.
So, first, you have the Minnesota Twins are on a downward spiral, and so people are speculating that they're probably going to start dealing some of their guys. One of them, Byron Buxton, is said to be not Byron Buxton. The Phillies are said to be interested in Byron Buxton. So that's one of the trade rumors. And there's another player that you had mentioned prior to us getting on in Nelson Cruz, who could be headed somewhere else as well if the Twins decide to sell it. I think I could see Nelson Cruz in an Athletics uniform just because he reminds me of like David Justice at the end of his career, Frank Thomas at the end of it. They always take these guys who are high on base, high power guys at the end of their careers. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I actually think watching the Twins game yesterday, they mentioned the A's as one of the teams that they could see Nelson Cruz going to. I don't know why the White Sox stand out to me. But they're also in the same division, so I don't know if they get down like that.
I'm trying to. So I know that Eloy Jimenez is on his way back. He'll be back pretty soon.
I was like,
he'll be out in the outfield, huh?
And I was like, Elo.
So I'm trying to think, and I think they're gonna try to play it safe with him in the outfield. He said in the past he doesn't want a DH. But we'll see. I mean, there might not be any room for Nelson Cruz. I guess you make room for a guy like that. There's also the Chicago Cubs. They dealt away Jock Pederson to the Atlanta Braves. It is also said that Kris Bryant and Craig Kimbrell are also on the block. They're trying to lock up Rizzo and Baez, but I don't think that they're ruling out trading them if necessary. And I think that the Phillies have shown interest in Craig Kimbrell because their bullpen has been shoddy, to say the least. And then the Nats and the Mets are said to be interested in Kris Bryant. I don't know. Then, do you want to talk about the Yankees and who they're interested in, man? Dike?
I think the Yankees are get interested in Joey Gallo. Perfect for Yankee Stadium. Left-handed power back. And he strikes out about 300 times a year, so that's perfect for the Yankees right there.
Nice.
The Yankees may also be interested in Starling Marte. What do you think about that?
A lot of guys are talking about the Joey Gallo not being a good fit for the Yankees. I was one of those guys because of precisely what you said, that he strikes out a lot, but not because he's not a good fit. Talk to Manny personally. I think he is a good fit. Talk to Manny, who sees how Yankees fans behave and treat their players. I could see this guy getting torn to pieces, and I don't think that helps. I don't think that helps a player. So I see Joey Gallo come in for a week and strike out 20 times and getting booed out the yin yang. I could see him struggling a little bit moving forward because because the fans are irrational here. Excuse me. And yeah, but in terms of everything else, he's perfect. Left-handed, outfielder. It's exactly what we need.
According to this Bleacher Report article, the Padres are panting, foaming at the mouth.
Ooh.
Saliva dripping everywhere.
Wow.
For Joey Gallo. What do you think about that?
That would be,
Padres become instant contenders? I think they're already contenders, but are they the instant favorite?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he's that kind of a difference maker, but he definitely helps that lineup. So when was it that baseball implemented the sticky substance thing generally? Like, could we agree on
Manny? When they enforced it?
Yeah, like started enforcing it.
If my memory serves me correctly, Manny, it was Monday. It was Monday, June 21st. On the first guy checked was Jacob deGrom.
Okay, so Monday, June 21st.
First guy banned was. We made a video about this. Drawing a blank right now.
Hector Santiago.
Hector Santiago was the first guy banned. Suspended.
Yeah.
Caught red-handed. Whatever happened to that?
I think the suspension was upheld through an arbiter, so he's gonna serve the suspension now.
But like whatever happened to the lab analysis where they like confiscated the glove and put it in like plastic? Jesus,
ridiculous. So I sorted out Joey Gallo stats from June 21st until now, and there you have it: 277 average, a 1295 OPS. He has 12 home runs and 20 RBIs in that time. So why wouldn't you want this guy? Could it be now that pitchers are more hittable? We're seeing teams are scoring like 18 runs now, 20 runs. Like hitting is back apparently.
Man, look at you. Where else do you get this kind of insight?
Right? Don't you want a guy?
This is what you want, man. This is what you want. Like, what?
Don't you want a guy like that? I don't know why I'm laughing so much.
Yeah, man. Take a breather.
Like Yankees fans. Listen to me, man. I grew up a Yankees fan. About a mile or two away from Yankee Stadium. Die hard. This is the kind of guy you want. Like, are you kidding me? If you let the Padres get this guy, you're essentially just like waving the white flag. Just give the World Series to the National League. Look, he's turned into barreled Bonds.
I've heard enough. Right. I say we pump this through the trade simulator and see what we can get. How do we get Joey Gallo on the Yankees?
All right. Wow, man, do you see that? How I had that?
Jesus, man. This is just like pro here, man.
I mean, it just you ask and you shall receive is what we say. You know what I mean? Can we still discuss while the screen is up?
I hear you.
Okay, we can still discuss then. So we have a 2-team trade. We're gonna. Oh, that's not how that works. What
you're gonna want to do is, you're gonna want to put the Rangers,
and we're gonna put the New York Yankees.
Yankees.
All right. The Rangers, the Yankees are going to get, the Rangers are going to trade away Joseph A. Gallo. The Yankees, wow, he has a 37.7 medium score. If you're not familiar with baseball trade values, you got to use this website, guys. So they're using his salary, go ahead.
Manny, real quick, is there a limit on the value? Is it out of 50 or something? Is that out of 100?
No, it goes, it's infinite, I think. There's guys with like 120 something. Well, you're not going to get like, I don't know what the max value is, but there is guys with like 100 plus.
Shohei Ohtani.
Probably. I mean,
yeah,
I'd give anything for that guy. Just one night with that guy.
I'd do anything for that guy.
So we see Joseph H. Gallo here. We're going to send him to New York. So you'll see him appear here, right? We have a 37.7 MTVs. I forget what that means. You're going to have to look that up, okay? Let's find a good fit for this guy. Who can we trade away? Who can the Yankees trade away to get Joey Gallo? Let's sort this. See, like we have Giancarlo Stanton as a negative 118.9.
Wait a second. So you basically this takes into account what a guy can do on both sides of the ball and what they're getting paid and all that stuff and age and everything. It has all that baked into it, right?
Right. And if you want more information on this, we did an interview with the guy who created the system on baseball trade values. You could check it out on the Bodega Baseball channel. And you'll get more information on that here. But let's see. I'm going to sort it the other way around. A guy like Aaron Judge is worth 73.6 points. So if I were to add Judge for Gallo, for example, the system is going to decline it because the values don't match. So we have to try to get to as close to the value as possible. I'm doing that for the fans, by the way, not for you, Luis.
Nice.
Gleyber Torres somehow has a positive 48.5 value. Jason Dominguez would be an equal trade. But do you want to do Jason Dominguez, a kid for the future with endless potential, for Joey Gallo? Probably not. So there's nobody else that matches his value after that. Did you have something to say? My bad, man.
I was going to say, man, what I've heard of Jason Dominguez so far is he's like a switch hitting Mike Trout type of guy. And I think Mike Trout has solidified himself as one of the GOATs.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
When you usually hear someone getting compared and the guy is still in the major leagues, what does that tell you? What usually happens to guys like that?
I don't know.
So my theory is Shohei Ohtani's legit the two-way player the prophecies have always talked about, right?
Correct.
So if anyone ever comes up from now till the next 50 years and they're comparing him to the next Shohei Ohtani, I'm thinking that he's not going to be the next Shohei Ohtani. So for Jason Dominguez, I would make that trade today.
You would do Jason Dominguez for Joey Gallo straight up.
Bro, I'm giving up Jason Dominguez and I'm figuring out a way to get rid of Stanton in the process. Like,
wow.
Yes.
Have you seen videos of Jason Dominguez tearing up? I mean, it's A-ball. It's rookie ball, but still.
Okay. Whatever.
I'm just saying.
What do I know? What do I know, man?
What if this guy turns out to be Mike Trout 2.0?
All right.
The Yankees will look back on it and say, what the hell were we thinking?
Where do we go from here? After?
Okay. So Jason Dominguez is the guy that matches up evenly with Joey Gallo, but we know the Yankees aren't going to do that. So we're going to look beyond. It's going to have to be probably a two or three player trade here. And the next best player on the list is Jordan Montgomery. The Yankees are low on starting pitching, so I don't think they're going to be able to make that move. The next one is our prospect, the top prospect in the Yankee system, Peraza. If you believe in Gleyber Torres, the kid's 22, 23 years old. He's going to be here for the future. I would say that the Yankees would be willing to part ways with this kind of prospect. Would the Rangers take this deal according to the system? No, it's not accepted, not equal. So we have to find 14 points somewhere else. Who could we throw in there? Davy Garcia, potentially.
Hey, it's not bad.
Mike Schmidt. Domingo Germán. I don't think anybody's going to take Domingo Germán right now. Maybe you sweeten the deal with a Davy Garcia. Let's see. The system would accept this trade. There's a slight overpay by the Yankees, but
they need Gallo.
I feel good about this.
Yeah, I think that's pretty legit, but I don't see the Yankees getting parting ways with Garcia. So they're probably going to try to be like, hey, take our two lowest ranked pitching prospects. They're not even in the top 200. Take those two guys.
And they're not going to do Clint Frazier because they need outfield. They need outfielders.
Well, Joey Gallo plays the outfield.
That's a good point, man.
And they got Esteban Florial.
Who, by the way, what's his face isn't even like I haven't even seen his name yet. Frazier 1.8. Wow, he's dropped a lot.
But see, I feel like that's a guy that you can put in a trade package.
Yeah.
And it'll hold some, like, not by himself, but it'll hold some weight.
Yeah. I think the Yankees broke that kid, honestly. I'm not even kidding, man. They broke him. Pobrecito.
All right.
So that's the deal right there. Yeah.
I'm fine with that deal. Are you?
And I just want to say real quick. So this system, if you listen to that interview, he'll explain it more. But this system, the baseball trade value system that you see here, they've tested it against actual MLB trades, and the trades are accurate like almost 100% of the time. And according to the creator of the system, he gets contacted by MLB teams. He wouldn't say who. Basically admitted that they use his system, or they'll admit it in a roundabout way. So this is a pretty good system to use. I'm not saying that Garcia and Peraza are going to go away for Joey Gallo, but if the Yankees were to want to create a deal for Joey Gallo, this would be a deal that would get accepted, and it's a deal that I feel comfortable with, and I think it's a deal that Luis would hate to see as a Red Sox fan.
I'm expecting this to happen because do you want to do another one?
Sure. For who?
I say we try to get Kris Bryant to the Mets.
All right.
So I think a couple, I think 2 seasons ago, maybe last season, there was talks of Kris Bryant and a Noah Syndergaard swap where Syndergaard would go to the Cubs and Bryant would go to the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's still a good way to look at it, because Syndergaard hasn't pitched in a while.
So you're saying Syndergaard for Bryant straight up?
No, I'm saying the Mets are one of the teams that are linked to Kris Bryant. How do we get him to the Mets? And I know that 2 seasons, like I don't know if it was last season or 3 seasons ago, but there was talks of Noah Syndergaard going to the Cubs and Bryant going to the Mets.
So Bryant has a value of 15.1 MTV.
How?
Maybe because of his injuries.
But he's hitting this year. He's plays all over the field.
But yeah, that's true. But he's been injured a couple times. He hasn't been on the IL. Maybe once he was on the IL, but he's been sat down for nagging injuries here and there.
It's just odd seeing Gallo, and I know you do have to take what's happening today into context. But I feel like Kris Bryant hasn't wanted to be on the Cubs for quite some time now. So, I mean, does him winning an MVP and Rookie of the Year have any value? Like,
they're about the same age, Joey Gallo and Kris Bryant. Infielders, I know that he plays the outfield as well, but infielders' value drops after age 27, I think it is. And I think they consider him to be primarily a third baseman. He's having a resurgent season, although it's still statistically speaking, his second worst season of his career. Maybe compared to 2018 is technically his second worst season. But an argument could be made that 2021 has been his second worst season. Where'd you go, man? You're gone.
I'm trying to get my light on, but that's lost cause.
All good, man.
Sorry.
So maybe that's what it is.
So what you're saying is that the Mets can get Kris Bryant on a bargain because his value is so low. I don't know how to look at this now because I thought Kris Bryant would have been in the 40s compared to Gallo.
I don't know if this is weighted for time period too, because I think if the Mets are desperate at the trade deadline, they're going to overpay for him. You know what I mean? They're going to have to.
But according to this, it seems like that's the only way they're going to get him, because they're not just going to trade. I don't know. Scroll down to the first guy that has like 16.
Taijuan Walker.
No, they're not going to trade Walker.
No, Michael Conforto. I don't think they're going to do that.
Nope.
Edwin Diaz. I don't think they're going to do that. You got Allen, a prospect, 13.7, a right-handed pitcher.
What I'm saying, Manny, is that when I think of Kris Bryant and the Cubs trading him to the Mets, I don't see it as, it's just going to take a decent prospect. I feel like there's going to be 3 guys involved in that trade. And
then this kid, Matt Allen, is undergoing Tommy John surgery, so you never know what's going to happen with that. I don't know who they could trade for this guy, man. JD Davis. But why would you do a third baseman for a third baseman?
Yeah, I mean, again, Kris Bryant could play anywhere, but I hear what you're putting down.
I don't know, man. Would they do? Here's a third base prospect. If they're thinking about keeping, Kris Bryant long term, maybe that would be a good trade. Brett Batty, heck of a name. Beatty. Is it Beatty or Batty? Brett Batty.
Would the Mets be interested in trading Noah Syndergaard straight up?
Why would they do that? They need starters, man.
Because they're basically getting it done with. It's like their offense that I feel has been the problem. So they're basically getting it done without Syndergaard, without Carrasco. They're gonna have to figure out how to get it done without DeGrom now. And when I think of like the playoffs, I think Stroman and Walker and DeGrom can get it done.
Let me see who this Crowe Armstrong kid is.
Like when I think of them getting Kris Bryant, they're getting him because they realize like this is our chance to go for it. And right now we don't know what Syndergaard is going to be. So Pete Crowe Armstrong, wow, what a name!
Right. I don't see his ranking. Usually, Baseball Reference has his play. Well, looks like he's a brand new prospect, just drafted. So look at his stats in the minors. Only 6 games though. 417.
He's the number 5 prospect for the Mets.
Number 5 prospect for the Mets.
According to Baseball Savant, bats lefty, throws lefty, plays the outfield, 6 foot, 184 pounds, 19 years old. It's a child.
What was this kid's name again? Brett Batty? 80? My computer lags, guys, if you haven't noticed. It's a brand new Dell computer. Got about a year ago. I don't know if you consider that Dell, but I got 4 terabytes.
The number 4 prospect for the Mets.
According to Baseball Reference, in Major League Baseball, he's the 94th ranked prospect. He's a top 100 prospect. Was drafted in the 12th round. His minor league stats look okay. This year in High A, he's hitting 309 with a 911 OPS. But he was demoted from Double A. So I don't know if the Cubs would do that. I don't know, man. I don't know what the Mets could do here. Unless if they're willing to part ways with a guy like JD Davis, but then why would the Cubs do that? You know what I mean? Like, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It has to be a prospect, I would think. So let's say Crowe Armstrong. Would they accept this trade? A minor overpay. It doesn't look like they would accept this deal. All right, let's give you Beatty or Batty, whatever his name is.
Damn, but see, okay, like if the Mets, let's say MLB teams use this, it just doesn't. Oh, you're saying like one or the other? I thought you were combining the two.
Conforto. How many outfielders do the Mets have?
They have, Nimmo, Conforto.
Are they short on outfield?
No, they also have
Dominic Smith. Does he play
Dominic Smith? It's one of them.
Pilar.
Kevin Pillar.
I don't know,
so
man.
The Cubs will only be interested in prospects. They're not going to take.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to take JD Davis.
Nah.
So who's Allen? Oh, yeah, I looked him up. Allen, that would be a deal they would probably take. Mets prospect Allen. I feel like we're like the Mike Francesa show here. A lot of dead air.
No.
Hey, dog. Matt Allen. Let's see what he did before Tommy John. And would the Cubs take a guy who's undergoing Tommy John surgery? Who in last time he pitched in the minor leagues in 2019, in 5 starts, he had a 1.08 ERA. Maybe they'd get rid of a pitcher. I mean, they have Syndergaard, Walker, DeGrom, Stroman, Carrasco. Maybe this would be a guy, Matt Allen. They would accept that. I don't know. I don't know if it's enough. Or do you just keep Bryant? You might as well just keep Bryant, finish out the season, and get your prospect if he leaves. Because they're also losing a prospect if they trade him away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I just think of like the Mets trading away Kelnick for like to get Cano and Diaz and stuff. And I know there was probably more to that trade, but when I think of like the Mets receiving Kris Bryant, I figured the Cubs are like, okay, we have the leverage. Like they can give us, they're going to overpay for this guy. So I don't see that being just like a 1-to-1. We'll give you our prospect and you're going to take, and then we'll give you Bryant.
Yeah.
I see it being like, we'll give you one of our top prospects and we're also going to give you 2 low-ranked arms or something. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
But what do I know?
What do we know? ¿Qué sabemos? Yo no sé nada. Yo no sé nada, vale. I think that's it, man. I think that's all we got for today. Those were your trades. Those are your hot or nots. Make sure you subscribe to the Bodega Baseball podcast on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you get your pods. Also, search for Bodega Baseball on YouTube. We should be the first ones to pop up. Check out our channel. Subscribe to that as well. Follow me at Manigo3. Follow that guy over there. in the shadows at Hova Mojo. Follow Our Esquina at Our Esquina on all social media platforms and at www.ouresquina.com. That's it. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.